Hello everyone. Today I am enjoying some apple spice tea given to me by a friend. I added some orange blossom honey and it's got a wonderful Christmas cider smell to it. Perfect for autumn vibes. And today I'm going to be doing a sketchbook tour of this sketchbook here from Killstar. I enjoyed working in this a lot. The paper quality wasn't great. Definitely not a good sketchbook for mixed media or any kind of watercolor. I mean, it took acrylics all right, but definitely not great for watercolor. You can see it's nice and thick. It's kind of falling apart in the front too, but let's get into it. On the first page, I've got my business card, a sticker me and my friend designed together, some other Halloween stickers, a sticker I picked up from Toby of the Universe at Tampa Bay Comic-Con in 2018. You can see I've started this sketchbook in August of 2018. So it took me a little bit over a year to finish this sketchbook. On this first page I've got some Pokemon, a few little drawings of Mew and Pokeballs, a vintage Raichu sticker, and a little Raichu doodle. I don't know if I'm happy with, but as you can see, the graphite transferred a lot in this sketchbook. So throughout the rest of the sketchbook, I only drew on the one side of the page. I usually draw on both sides of the page to get the max amount I can out of the sketchbook. I like how this page turned out. I did some crystals. I really like this foliage. My little gemstones I like to use as filler a lot throughout my sketchbooks. I just have fun drawing them. Claws and teeth and a tea bag. I started to draw a skull over here but didn't finish. This page was really cute too. I drew a little coral snake, I think. Lavender, a tree helicopter, and a little barn owl. More gemstones and sparkles. This was a page based on Over the Garden Wall, loosely. You can see I drew their hats and lantern with a girl inside, a moon, feathers, and the bird scissors. I actually have a pair of these that were my mom's, so I used those as reference. Little banner, and the character Enoch, I didn't get him quite right, but very cool nonetheless. Little pumpkin and acorn in a jar. This was a study of a photo I found on Pinterest. I like to save a lot of stuff on Pinterest just to practice and things like that. So if you're interested, I will leave a link in the description to my Pinterest and you can see all that stuff. This is just a little study of some clouds and night sky, stars and stuff. This was a page of just little different plants and stuff. I filled it with a lot of stickers and washi, and on these cute GG stickers I wrote the scientific names of the plants that I drew, a few of them. This one was a study for a commission. So it's like a bird talon encased in opalite floating over a forest. I've done a series of paintings like this for the client. It's just some little spooky doodles, a little vintage inspired ghost cat. A little cute ghost cat, lots of candy corns. I was drawing out a bottle to paint because I bought a cutout in that shape at Joann's to paint. It was a little Halloween craft. It was a lot of fun. These are more just little studies for the commission. We didn't know if we wanted to do the talons, so we played around with claws and bird skull. I drew a little haunter in a bell jar. He's super cute. This sticker is from the artist Rebecca Nipper. I will link her in the description. And the rest of the artists, I have stickers throughout my sketchbook here. I actually don't remember this artist's name. I know she's local, so I'll have to see if I can find her, and I will link her in the description as well. It's just a little sticker I made. I don't know if you can see the little holographic on there. This is just kind of like a geometric, zodiac-inspired doodle page. This one is a sticker by Veronica Steiner. I will link her. Got some just little mushrooms, mushroom stickers. There's little eyeball doodles and stuff on the page. Here's just some gourds and jack-o'-lanterns, pumpkins, mushroom. This was a study I did. I didn't really like how it turned out, so I got my white jelly roll and drew some skulls and some horns on top. I think it's got an interesting effect to it. You'll see in the rest of the sketchbook I've done this more than once. This page was really cute. I like this little angry leaf. He's got little mushrooms growing out of the top of him, and I drew these pumpkin mushrooms, little pumpkins. Super cute. This was a little jack-o'-lantern cauldron, the crystals. This page is just full of a bunch of little doodles. I drew my friend's cat with a gummy bear on her head. I didn't like what I drew here, so I covered it up with this Killstar sticker. I drew little mushrooms, this plague doctor mask, little vials and tarot cards. These are really cute. For some reason they remind me of like video game items. Just little mushrooms in the vial jar and stuff. And the cicada wing stickers are from me. I hand printed those. Here's just a simple page with a ram skull. I really like how this looks with the shape of the sketchbook and then just the simplicity of the skull drawing. You'll see I do this a couple times in the sketchbook. This was a little sketch for Paws of Pride, Redraw This. So I was just sketching that out for my finished painting. This was the beginning of Inktober in 2018. I did myself a little introductory page, and sadly I got 2 days in, so we'll see. My 2 days of Inktober here. I drew this raven with a chanterelle mushroom growing out of its eye socket. And this one is just a little brat hanging out on a pumpkin. I used a ballpoint pen for this one, and I usually never draw with ballpoint pens, so it was a little challenge I gave myself for Inktober. And I mean, it's not terrible. I don't know if I care for the texture I got, but it was still fun. And that was it. These are fun. You'll see these a couple times. I guess I either didn't like what was under it or I was just experimenting because I covered the page with black acrylic. And then went in with the paint and my jelly roll and did all these ornamental borders. I drew this crying goat's eye over the moon and a bunch of stars. So I really like how this one turned out. There's another one, the moon with 3 ghosty snakes, lots of stars, an eyeball. This one was a fox skull. It didn't turn out super well. I know I got the proportions wrong, but that was good practice. I drew some ginkgo leaves and other foliage. I started to draw a hyena back there and some little eyeballs. This one was just a little galaxy practice piece, and I stuck this snake sticker on there. This one was fun. I was experimenting with gouache. I really like the texture in this. I don't know. Gouache just has this look to it. It's really cool. I love how matte the black paint is. More of my little gemstone fillers, and I wanted to draw a kind of vintage jack-o'-lantern there. The cat jack-o'-lantern is actually based off of one my dad carved in the 90s. I've got this cute picture of me and my sister sitting on the porch and the pumpkins in between us. This was another redraw this from Sophie McPike. I wanted to reimagine some of the redraw pieces with animals instead of people. So I did a lynx for this one. I added some shiny fine-tech silver in there for details. I was just practicing some foxes here, playing around with kind of more stylized, cutesy things. More filler gemstones. Here's another fox I painted, and I took my white jelly roll and drew the skull over his face. Crystal, an eyeball, a mushroom, some garland at the top. I really like how this sketch turned out. It's a cute mourning dove with 2 eyes and a sword stabbed in the back. There's some blood dripping down. As you can see, especially right here, how the watercolor bleeds through the page and you end up with these lines through the page. Not sure how they did that when creating the paper, but it does not take paint very well. You can see it here too, the lines that kind of suck up the paint and look darker. This was a flower I had done a study of. Someone had given me, I think my boss from work gave me her flowers she didn't want. And more gemstone filler. Can't remember the name of this plant though. Some sketches of an eel, a little stylized betta fish. I'm playing around with my silver jelly roll. Here's lots of mushrooms, crystal mushrooms, a bell jar with mushrooms, and more gemstones. Here I was doing practice sketches for another piece, and you'll see on the next page the finalized sketch for that piece. This was one I did back in December. The finished piece ended up pretty similar to this one. You can see my color comps I was doing for the background. Here's another one of those skulls, an antelope skull. This page was really weird. I was playing around with vintage Japanese ephemera and insects, and I drew this Edison bulb. I was playing around with gouache and stuff. I'm not in love with this page, but it's interesting. This one was another redraw in your style. This one was from Nadia Russa. And I did a little fennec fox. More little mushroom doodles. I was drawing some kitties, a cat paw. I was playing with my new wax seal I got. I really like how this guy turned out down here. He's super cute. He actually looks like my sister's cat. This one was just a page of stickers from a trip, a little tea bag. I did some watercolor behind it and drew some baby's breath with my gel pen. This one is just a study page of labradorite. This one turned out pretty nice. I was playing around with gouache again. Or was this gouache? Yeah, that's gouache. This little painter beetle, some ferns, and this was the start of my sketches for the Hogwarts houses. This one obviously being Gryffindor. I was drawing some lion skulls, lions, playing around with the shapes of the windows at Hogwarts and teeth and runes. This was the sketch for my Ravenclaw piece, which I finished and have the video up on my YouTube as well. This one was sketches for Slytherin, Snake Skull, Skeleton, more sparkles and gemstones and runes. This was my finalized sketch for the Slytherin piece. I will be working on this painting next, so stay tuned. That'll be coming up soon. This one's more Gryffindor, the lion skull. I was playing around with having a sleeping mandrake next to it. Another little mandrake up there. This one is a badger skull for Hufflepuff. And this one is more similar to my finalized sketch. I might mess with the tree a little bit more. But for Hufflepuff, I'll have the badger skull with a dirigible plum growing through it. I was playing around with the colors. Wasn't super happy with how this one turned out. I'll probably play around with it some more. But I'm excited to get into this piece. Here's just studies of some plants in gouache, ferns and phthos. Lily pads, or I can't remember what those are called. And I was playing around with a kind of metallic-ish teal mechanical pencil that I got. I drew some poppies and gemstones and this cute little bat. This was a study for a commission. Some more clouds and stars in the night sky. Some color comps for it. Some more kitty sketches, little Persian cat skull, a Maine Coon, kitty paws. This one's actually my friend's cat. She sent me this super cute picture of her sticking her tongue out, and it was just too cute. This is a color swatch of a palette a friend made me. It's got these beautiful metallic colors. I need to do a video of me playing around with this palette. And look how bright that blue is. Really nice. I think she said all of these are Daniel Smith colors. So I'll have to look and see. Here's a little alligator skull I did. This is me just playing around with some duocolor metallic pigments I got from Solar Color Dust. They have some really cool products. Little cicada I didn't finish. It's me just playing around with gouache and a holographic pigment. I don't know if it will show up on the screen or not. These were sticker ideas, so a little cicada made out of malachite, and this little raccoon paw with mushrooms growing out of it. I never actually got around to making these. I might still make the raccoon paw. He's really cool. I found a little ginkgo leaf. This was actually from a trip to Tennessee. We hiked to the top of the mountain. I brought my watercolors, so I just kind of painted the top of the mountain. It's a little difficult with this paper. Like I said, it does not take watercolor well. You can see it's all kind of torn up. There's like ridges in the paper from where the paper just started balling up. And it didn't look, you know, super great when I was finished. So I just got a little liner pen and drew some ginkgo leaves on top of it. This is another painting from the back of my mother's balcony. She's got a nice view of the forest and mountains, and the sun was setting. Really cool. And then I just drew these little stars on top. Here's another one of those black pieces. Just playing around with making textures with the jelly roll and water. And these little moons. Another crying eye. These were sketches for a commission, a pet portrait commission of my friend's kitty. This was a little painting I started and never finished because it was just kind of weird. A little cat head with its jaw coming off and teeth and gemstones and a mushroom growing out of its head while it's hissing. On this page I just drew some super adorable Pokemon. I really like how Haunter turned out. He's super cute. My chubby Raichu. Sableye is one of my favorites too. Here's just some little doodles of jars. Little oddity jars, gemstones, a cat paw with an eyeball, and a little snake. Here's another one of those scenery pieces. I didn't really like how it turned out, so I drew a fox skull on top of it and a little fox face. And this cool little occult style eyeball. These, I've got a video of me doing these sketches up. This was a lot of fun drawing raptors, aka birds of prey. I started to draw a little mink up here, playing around with the jelly roll. There's another snake, and then I just kind of did these little illustrations, kind of like the life cycle of the frog. So we've got eggs, a little tadpole, a bigger tadpole, and I did this drawing of a poison dart frog. Here are just some little cute magic bottles. Had a lot of fun with these. This one was inspired by Esme Made. She does these super adorable pumpkin girl dolls, and I was inspired by one of her creations to do this illustration of one of her pumpkin dolls doing magic. I love the little vintage style jack-o'-lantern face. And I tried to give her like a little warty pumpkin. This is one of my favorite pages in the sketchbook. It's just a little eclectic page of a raccoon paw with lace, magic balls, keys, rings, shells and hagstones and horns, coffin nails and crystals, and a moth. Just lots of fun stuff. Here I was doing studies of a raccoon, a little zombie raccoon there. And I found this cool image of a, I guess, Siamese twin raccoon ordeal going on there. I thought I'd draw the skull. On this page I just did a really quick sketch of a Yeti crab, just because they're so funny looking. They're all fuzzy. I did all these other little seashells and coral. This one was a quick piece, a little forest scene. I used my Fine Tech silver in the background for some fun. This was a drawing based on a creation from Forever Familiars. Her work is absolutely beautiful. If you haven't seen it yourself, I definitely recommend going to check her out. She had created this beautiful bell jar with deer hooves and pearls hanging around them in lace. My drawing really doesn't do it justice, but I had fun with this one. I didn't finish the flowers up in the top, but it's still a lot of fun. And then I think this is the last page. I was just playing around with more watercolor textures, and that's as far as I got. Like I said, this paper just doesn't work well with watercolor, but it is kind of interesting, all the different shapes and things going on. I think I had started to draw something over it and then never got around to it. Maybe I will in the future. Finish up this sad last page. Here's the thick back page of the book. And in the very back I've got this little experiment of, I took gesso and painted on this black canvas cloth, put watercolor ground down, and then painted this watercolor labradorite on there. I might play around with this idea more in the future, painting on a canvas with watercolor and stuff. It's an interesting idea. This one's a cute little thank you sticker from Darktown Sally. Definitely recommend checking out her stuff if you haven't seen her. And that is it. On the back of the book here, I've got lots of stickers from Blood Cross. Her work is awesome. Definitely check her out. This guy's kind of seen better days. This sketchbook was in and out of my purse a lot. These I picked up from an artist at Tampa Bay Comic-Con in 2018. I can't make out the name in the sticker, and I haven't been able to find any artist with these images. So if you know who this is, please let me know. And that is it for my Killstar coffin-shaped sketchbook. Super cute for the novelty of the coffin shape. Not so great on the quality of paper. So I definitely recommend this if you're just using pencil sketching. Any mixed media, definitely not. And thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm excited to see you in our next video. Bye.